Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. This is an exciting day in the city of St. Paul. I first of all want to thank the St. Paul City Council for their action last night approving the Ford Master Plan. 12 years ago, before I became mayor, Ford Motor Company announced their intent to close the Highland facility. That was a sad day in the city of St. Paul because that facility has served us well. It has employed thousands of people over the course of the nearly 100 years that it was in operation, provided a lot of wages and good benefits for families across this region. We went to work to try to save the plant, including a trip out to Detroit, to Dearborn, to speak with company officials trying to save that plant. We were unsuccessful in our efforts to keep that plant open. But we knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we needed to seize that moment. We knew that, just as Henry Ford had declared back when he first came to that site, this was one of the best sites in the entire country, in that instance for the development of a motor facility, but in this instance to rebuild a community. When you think about that site on the banks of the Mississippi River, attached to one of the best neighborhoods in the entire region, 10 minutes from either downtown and 5 minutes from an international airport that can take you anywhere in the world, we knew we had to seize this moment. But we knew we needed to do something different. We needed to have a 21st century vision for a community that included the latest and greatest in technology, the greenest strategies, the most sustainable development ideas that we could possibly find, and we needed to make sure that it was an equitable community. And I think that the plan that was passed yesterday by the St. Paul City Council achieves all of those goals. I led many trips across the globe and across the country to look at what other communities were doing, how they were redeveloping things like airports and brownfield sites. And I knew that in the city of St. Paul, we could do something special here. I put a group of incredibly dedicated folks, some of whom are here today, on that task. It started with former planning director Cecile Bedore, who's not here with us today, continued with our great planning and economic development director, Jonathan Sage Martinson. It included Donna Drummond and Mike Richardson, and it included Merritt Clapp Smith, who I think is the unsung hero of all of the work that has been done here. So I want to just say again, this is not the end of the journey, it is the beginning. This lays out broad visions and broad goals for an equitable and sustainable community, and we will achieve those goals. There will be lots more conversations as the Ford site goes out for sale, as a developer comes in, as we continue to work with the community. But I want to make sure that people understand this has been a community-based process. For 12 years, we have been in the community. On cold and snowy days, we've held meetings at St. Kate's. We've gone out and talked about energy strategies. We've talked about densities. We've talked about transportation. We have talked about all aspects of this. And we will continue to have those conversations. We've had, I think at last count, 150 plus community meetings where people had a chance to weigh in. This is a community vision that was passed by the St. Paul City Council last year. I'm proud to have led that effort. I'm proud to have made sure that we continue to have a focus on the future, and I believe that in the coming years we will see rise out of the site of the old Ford Motor Company, one of the greatest visions anywhere in the world. One of those trips that we took, we saw a visitor center on a development site. And there was a map of the site, and a map of the globe, rather. And there were people that put pins from the countries that they were from, that they had come from to visit that site. Because people do want to know what the best practices are in the world. I completely envision that in a few years from now, there will be a map of the world, and there will be pins from every corner of this globe. People that have come to the city of St. Paul to say, how do you do truly sustainable, equitable development in the 21st century? This site will represent that, and we're extremely proud of that. So I'm very happy to be signing the ordinance that the plan that the City Council has passed, and very grateful for the work that everyone has done. And Merritt, where are you?
I'm here.
There it is. All right.
Oh my God.